In every aspect of any sport, individual sport, team sport, there has to be leaders. There gotta be a captain. There's gotta be a marshal. There's gotta be a head student that's just at higher levels of skill, attitude, leadership that can lead the pack into greatness. There's a reason why wolves have an alpha, you know. Every animal group has a main alpha that leads them because he is mentally strong, physically strong, and his attitude provides a certain level of power. Now, there's different types of leaders who abuse this power, or leaders who embrace their community and help uplift other people. That's how they use their power. Positive leadership, negative leadership. It's like that in governments. There's a government that gives back to the people, there's a government that takes from the people. And these are certain things that a lot of athletes need to understand. Some are born leaders, some are not. Some are generally made to follow, and some are generally made to lead. I feel like I was made to lead personally. It's probably why I'm an entrepreneur. It's probably why when I did a 9 to 5 job, that was my first job. And like one of my first few jobs, like I actually just was comfortable, but mentally I just didn't feel comfortable because I was taking orders from someone else. That's when I knew I was a leader. That's when I knew I was an entrepreneur. You see, you got to put yourself in certain situations to find out that you're a leader. Even when I was in school, man, like, excuse me, I was just always doing my own thing. I was just mainly by myself. People used to gravitate towards me. And that's what a leader does. A leader is usually on his own story. He knows he's the main character of his world. Followers are just supporting characters who have not acknowledged the fact that they're leaders and that they're the main character in their own worlds. You see, in team sports like football, soccer, rugby, cricket, there has to be a guy there that sorts out the hotheads, that sorts out the shy players, that sorts out the best players and creates them into one group. That's what the captain does. I remember when I was playing football, man, we had this captain, and they were generally upset that he was the captain because his father was the coach of the team. Of course, people are gonna judge, but when I got to get to know this guy, and I realized he does have leadership qualities because he was the only man that could scream at us, get like that could tell us to just get our shit back into order. I got into a fight with one of my teammates. He was the first one to push me away and separate me from that guy because he knew I was going to kill him because he knew me as a person. A leader knows everyone in his team. Same within an army. The captain, he knows all of these guys. That's why he's the leader. That's why he's the team captain. That's why he's the lieutenant, the general. The general used to be the team captain, eventually promoted to being general. Lieutenant, same thing. We need leaders because leaders are basically the calm and the peaceful guys to control certain levels of chaos in a situation. So we need leaders. You need your team captain, you need your sergeant, you need your lieutenant, you need your general. Because without them, we go down a path of failure. We go down a path of losing. We go down a path of death in some cases. Think about it for a second. If you didn't have a general to direct an army, that army would die viciously, atrociously on the battlefield because there is no direction. There has to be certain individuals who have the mental toughness, the mental resiliency, the the maturity to lead a certain group of people to success. There can be a leader who leads a group of people to failures because there are people who are leaders who are just corrupt. That's just that's part of the game, man. You're going to get the bad and the good. That's part of the game. I like to tell you the first time I met my fighting coach, my boxing coach, you know. You could say he's a mixed martial artist coach, but either way, he's my coach. He's a good mentor. I stepped in the gym first time, and I stepped inside the gym, and he was legit training. He was doing his own training. Yeah. And I could tell he was so into it. Like he was so in flow state, as we say. He was in the zone. Because as an athlete, I know what the look is. I know the feeling. So I kept asking him, listen, hi, how are you? How are you? I wanted to know details about the gym. He was like, come later. So to the ordinary person, that might be rude, you know. To the person, my ego kind of felt like shit. This guy just told me to fuck off, you know. But in my mind, in my mind, my athlete brain, my warrior brain kind of said, you know what, this guy is in the zone. Let me just come back. And then when I came back at the time where the gym was at working hours, because I came when they wanted working hours, so I knew I was also kind of in the wrong there. He had the conversation and said, listen, I was training. Well, how can I help you? That in itself is a leadership quality because a leader always takes care of himself or herself before she takes care of her troops or his troops. And from that moment on, I kind of knew that this man was a man of code, a man of honor, a man who took care of himself, knowing damn well that he needs to take care of others. And I felt safe as a fighter, knowing that this guy was my trainer because he took the time to finish off his training to help before me. Leaders take their time in isolation. Good leaders take time in isolation to learn and certain depths and attributes about themselves so that they can lead in harmony. They can lead in success, in peace. That's what a good leader does. A bad leader is a person that is within his ego and wants to abuse the people that he's leading because he's a bit insecure about his own self. He doesn't know himself. I was lucky enough to be a part of a group of individuals who were leaders that knew themselves. I was also unlucky to be a part of people who didn't know themselves. So I kind of knew the difference between a bad leader and a good leader in sport, in any sport. And ultimately, those are the certain things you gotta look out for in your team captain, your team manager, your boss, and your general. Like and subscribe. I'm out.